Imagine living in a world where knowledge is incomplete, maps are half blank, and science is still being invented. Now imagine one man who looks at all that uncertainty and says, "Don't worry, I'll explain everything." This is the story of Athanasius Kircher, a man with endless curiosity and unstoppable confidence. Kircher was born in 1602 and became a Jesuit scholar in Rome. But calling him a specialist would be misleading. He studied languages, music, volcanoes, ancient Egypt, biology, astronomy. In today's terms, Kircher didn't have a field. He had all of them. His books were beautifully illustrated, ambitious, and bold. People didn't just read Kircher, they trusted him. There was only one catch. Kircher didn't like saying, "I don't know." He preferred something closer to, "I figured it out." Kircher believed Egyptian hieroglyphs were not a language, but a system of mystical symbols. So instead of translating them word by word, he translated them spiritually. A symbol that modern scholars read as king became, in Kircher's version, the divine ruler through whom cosmic order flows. To be fair, his translations were imaginative. Unfortunately, they were also incorrect, very incorrect. Kircher once explored Mount Vesuvius. This alone made him more adventurous than most scholars of his time. After observing volcanic activity, he concluded that the Earth contained a massive underground system of fire, a kind of planetary furnace. Volcanoes, in his view, were simply vents. Was this accurate? Not quite. Was it creative? Absolutely. Kircher also turned his attention to the Tower of Babel. Not as a myth, but as an engineering challenge. He produced detailed diagrams showing how the tower could have been built, complete with ramps, structures, and calculations. It's worth noting that the tower itself may never have existed. Kircher didn't see that as a problem. Then there's the cat piano. Kircher described an instrument where different cats, chosen for their vocal range, would produce sounds when keys were pressed. It was never intended as a joke. Kircher was being practical. History quietly chose not to pursue this idea further. Here's the important part. Kircher wasn't trying to deceive anyone. He genuinely believed that knowledge should be connected: art, science, nature, and faith. He used early microscopes, studied disease spread, built a public museum of science, made complex ideas visual and exciting. In a chaotic intellectual world, Kircher tried to build a complete picture, even if some pieces didn't fit. Athanasius Kircher didn't always get the answers right, but he asked big questions, shared them widely, and inspired others to look closer. Sometimes progress doesn't begin with being correct, but with being curious enough to try. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're interested in strange minds, bold ideas, and historical figures who tried to explain the entire universe, subscribe, because history isn't just about winners and geniuses. It's also about curious people who dared to be wrong. See you in the next one.